Today we will be talking about multiple representations of exponential functions. Alright, to start out, we're going to review the basic format of an exponential equation, and that is y equals ab to the x. And each variable in this standard form equation represents a different point on the graph, or a different part of the equation. So a here is the starting value, and that's also our y-intercept. That's going to be where the information, the start. B is the multiplier, and that'll tell us how much we're increasing or decreasing from the starting value. And then lastly, we have y and x. Y and x are dependent on each other, and they represent varying points in the graph. So they change. If we plug in a different x, it'll affect the y. Those are two varying. The numbers vary for x and y, but in an equation, a and b remain constant. Alright, now we're going to put we're going to apply standard form of an exponential equation to an actual story problem here. So it says, a powerful computer is purchased for $2,000, but on average loses 20% of its value each year. How much will it be worth 4 years from now? Alright, to start out, I always begin just by writing my standard form up at the top of the problem, so I can always refer back to it if I need reference to how to write my equation. Alright, to start out, we're going to find our starting value, or A. So in the equation it says, a powerful computer is purchased for $2,000. So 2,000 is going to be our starting point. So in our equation, we're going to write y equals 2,000. Alright, next we have to find our b. So in our equation, or in our question, it says b is the multiplier. So b is going to tell us how much we're increasing or decreasing each year or month or whatever variation from the given starting point. So it says on average it loses 20% of its value each year. So if it's losing 20% each year, it's going to leave us with 80% each year. So really, we want to know 80% of 2,000. But when we're writing our equation, we can't write 80%, so we have to change it to decimal form. So it would just be 0.8. And then our x would go up here. So now we have our two constant variables figured out in our equation. And then in the problem, or in the question, it's going to give us either the y value or the x value to plug in. Y values represent, y values tell us the total. So this would tell us the total value. The x represents number of years. And in this question, it asks us how much will it be worth 4 years from now. So in this equation, we're going to be solving for y. So it's y equals 2,000 times 0.8 to the 4th power, because it's 4 years from now. Alright, now that we have our equation, we can solve to figure out the answer to this question. Alright, in order to solve this, you can either just plug it into your graphing calculator, 2,000 times 0.8 to the 4th, or we can use order of operations to solve. So we would start out with the exponent, because that comes first. So 0.8 to the 4th power is 0.4096. And then we would times that by 2,000. If we do that, it would give us a final answer of 819.2. So that means the value of the computer in 4 years will be $819.20. And there we have our final answer for the problem.